We're back.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. We dropped out for a minute.
Yeah.
Internet doesn't always work the way you want it to.
Yeah. So as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by Mediacom.
Yes.
That is difficult for a man as it is to remember one anniversary, because we all know that if we don't write it down, our memories aren't going to do it. I have kind of three. The first day we met online.
That was May 23rd.
Oh, Jesus.
Can you believe I remember that?
God.
Because it was such an amazing meeting.
And then I have our Dakota.
Dakota?
Yeah. Isn't that the name of the tribe?
Lakota?
Lakota. What did I say?
And it wasn't even Lakota. It was Two Trees.
Two Trees.
Medicine Man ceremony.
But he was Lakota.
Traditional Lakota.
Right. Anyway. So that was
he's not Lakota, though. He's Chippewa.
I know.
Okay.
Anyway. And then I have our statutory
That was our
marriage.
spiritual wedding.
Yes. Due to Arizona law, not that we really had to get married, but we did.
Okay.
So I have to remember 3 dates a
You don't
year,
have to remember the May 23rd date.
plus birthdays, plus Valentine's Day, plus Christmas.
I've got 3 dates as well.
Is there any other holiday I need to take care of you?
Take care of me? Yeah, Mother's Day is right around the
Oh,
corner.
God, Mother's Day. Oh.
You asked. Isn't that next weekend or this weekend?
Can I hire Guido to go do some collections? No.
Hey, I gave you the JCPenney sale thing.
Oh, whoopee.
You get $10 off.
What am I going to buy you? Never mind.
May 10th is Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Don't forget your mothers, boys and girls.
After giving me the $10 off coupons.
And a gift card will be just fine.
No, then you gave me an alternative.
Which was?
Fixing our spa.
Oh, that's true. I would be happy
We have a
with that.
leak in the piping
I would be
underneath,
happy.
which is
Very
causing a
happy
waste of
with
water, which we won't stand for.
Yeah.
So I got to empty it, turn it on its side, have the PVC piping exposed, and then try to figure out where the hell the leak is so we can repair it.
Right.
So if I can do that before Mother's Day, I can put it back in running condition, put the necessary, unfortunately, chemicals in to balance the water, and then we can have a very
You know what?
nice...
If you got me a bottle of champagne
That's what I
and
just,
some beautiful ahi or
ooh,
crab or
ooh.
lobster to eat for dinner, you don't have to take me nowhere, babe. We just sit home and then jump in that hot tub, and I'll be the happiest girl on the planet. See how easy I am?
Yes, very.
Yeah, I got you, didn't I?
Oh, okay.
That you get me.
Okay, are these guys getting really bored now?
I hope so. I hope not. I'm sorry.
All right, we're going to play some music.
Yeah, it's time to take a break. I'm
Yeah.
just getting everything queued up.
That way we can figure out what the hell we're going to talk about for the next hour.
Oh, we still have plenty of stuff. I just have to go through my...
Sports, weather, regional news.
You're not going to have stuff for the news and keep talking about that.
Yeah, that's a
Well,
good point.
yeah,
Well,
we're not giving it all away.
No, it's a different atmosphere for
And-
this
and
show
it's
versus
more
the
of
news
a
show.
commentary as opposed to a report.
Right. And what's unfortunate is that my stunning personality doesn't come out doing the news.
So when you see him do the news, it's just going to be straight. It's not going to be editorializing. It's going to be
So,
very objective, unbiased
There is
reporting.
one article
Whereas
I really want to be sarcastic, and
Which one?
the one where Obama says what a great job he's done
Oh.
in the last 6.5 years.
Yeah.
And it's
No,
all,
don't give that one
Okay.
away. That's a good one.
Folks, you got to stay tuned for the news, because the quote from President Obama is enlightening,
To say the least.
and I'm being sarcastic.
Okay, so we're going to take some music here from Richie Havens, High Flying Bird. We'll be back. This is Terry,
And Pete, the tax guy.
and you're on Lake County Magazine.
Are you high in flying?
I'm flying most of the time.
Yes, we know. So
Yes.
we'll be right back, folks.
And say some prayers for Joni Mitchell. She's still having health issues. Word was she was in a coma, but they've denied that now, and hopefully she's going to get better. But she is definitely very ill, so please give her your prayers.
Good song.
There's a high flying bird flying way up in the sky, and I wonder if she looks down as she goes on by. Well, she's flying so free and easy in the sky. Lord, look at me here. I'm rooted like a tree here. got to sit down, can't cry. Oh Lord, I'm gonna die blue. Now the sun, it comes up and it lights up the day. And when he gets tired, Lord, and goes on down his way to the east and to the west, he meets God every day. Lord, look at me here, I'm rooted like a tree. Got to sit down, can't cry. Oh Lord, gonna die blue. Now I had a woman, Lord, she lived down by the mine. She ain't never seen the sun. Oh Lord, never stopped crying. Then one day, my woman up and died. Lord, she up and died now. Oh Lord, she up and died now. Hey, she wanted to fly, and the only way to fly is die, die, die. Well, there's a high-flying bird flying way up in the sky, and I wonder if she looks down as she goes on by. Well, she's flying so free and easy in the sky. Yeah, Lord, look at me here. Hey, I'm rooted like a tree. Got to sit down, can't cry. Hold on, I'm gonna die blue. Got to sit down, can't cry. Hold on, I'm gonna die blue. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah,
Yeah, high flying bird got those sit down, I'm not going to take it anymore blues, or whatever he said. Welcome back. That was Richie Havens.
I know.
I love him.
Very good song.
Very good
very
song.
good song.
One of my favorite old time classic rock songs,
I'm so glad.
or folk, or whatever you want to call him. He's just one of my favorites. And this is a compilation of all his best music. Very, very interesting CD. I'm enjoying this a lot. Unfortunately, no lyrics inside.
Actually, we have we, mostly my wife, has a tremendous collection of CDs and records. So maybe one day during this show when we don't have a lot of stuff to talk about, we can potentially take requests and have our engineering dude behind there or his son.
Well, I'd
pull-
have to do it here. He can't do that.
No,
They could
pull
pull them.
Pull the CDs.
Yeah, that could
Yeah.
be fun.
Doesn't mean we have to do it instantaneously.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
That could be fun. But then they could just tune into my show on Saturdays and give a call between 9
Do you
and
take
noon.
requests?
I'll take requests,
Well,
of
give them
course.
The same phone number, folks.
Oh, yeah.
701-6029. So if you listen to the show, and by the way, folks, I actually finally fixed the audio on my computer. Not
I was
that you
going to
guys
say,
knew about
really,
it.
you don't know after all these years I take requests?
So now I can listen again to my wife's show, and she knows my taste in music. But,
Yeah.
I never thought about calling in, disguising my voice, and saying, I want Grand Funk Railroad. I need Steppenwolf.
Like I couldn't
need
tell it's
cream.
you. Come on. Be real.
CCNR.
Hi, Sydney.
Oh, Sydney the office puppy.
Hi,
Sid.
Sydney.
Let me see if we can see her on the screen or not.
No, probably not.
Well, I forgot.
You may
about
see
the
her
light.
tail float by.
Yep. She's bored. She's, when she's in the office every
Hello.
day, she kind of
Come here.
sleeps.
It's okay.
Hey, kid.
Hi, sweetie.
Oh.
Oh, let's see if we can get your face there. Get your face for the TV. Yeah. No, she was better the other way because you could see the side of her face.
So, folks,
Good girl.
the
Who's
next
a good
question of the
girl?
day is
Who's a good
what is her mix?
You got to get her on the camera to ask people like that.
Well,
Well, we know she's half Australian Shepherd.
yes.
We just don't know what the other
The
half
other
is.
half we debate between Rot, Doberman,
How about a rotten Doberman?
What about the German Shepherd?
And sometimes German Shepherd, but I don't think it's German Shepherd.
No.
I think she's a Rottie.
I
mean,
she's
Dobie,
with
yeah.
the ears and that face color.
Absolutely.
Bye. See you later, Sid.
See ya. She just came by to say hi.
Yep. She gets
I
bored.
love when she does that.
And it's not 1 o'clock yet.
Yeah, she has her walkie time that is at 12. Well, 1 o'clock is
1
when I
o'clock.
take him out.
Yeah.
Take her out. Yeah.
Yeah, she's. Otherwise, she just stays
It's her
around.
highlight of the day.
Well, I don't know about you. Oh, there you go. She is in the camera. There you go.
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah, they
No,
get
you
to
can't.
see her.
Yeah, you can see her. It's really bad, folks, when you have clients coming into the office and the first thing they do is say, "Where's Sydney?"
Yeah, they're more
Or,
interested in the
"Hi,
dog
hi,
than him.
Sydney. How you doing? I'm like, excuse me. I'm
Hello?
over here.
Does that hurt your ego?
No,
That a dog is more popular than you?
no, because I love my puppy.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, you can't take it
Oh,
personally.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. It's just it's humorous to me
Yes.
that
it is.
we're so relaxed and comfortable in our office that we bring our puppy down, and clients know that they can just kick back, stay on the couch, play with the dog, and they don't know I'm charging them $150 an hour.
Well, on one of
for
our
that.
shows, I think Sydney is an associate producer.
Yes, the A Positive Flight by Joni Lane.
Joni Lane.
And hers at Monday at 3 o'clock. And yes, her titles show Sydney the office dog or engineer or something like that.
Yeah, I think she's on there as a producer or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think she does a better job than the guy behind us?
No, I think the guy behind us does a great job. Come on.
What did you just say, Mark?
Mark Stangalini.
Oh, no comment.
For your information, I am multitasking right now.
Uh-oh. Don't scare us.
Are you getting ready for the new show?
I am.
Good
Oh,
man.
good.
There we go. So we're
Yeah, Wednesdays are a challenge for us doing the new show right after the
it's a quick change.
we have to
set
take
change.
this camera and put it behind this curtain where the other set is for the new show and get the cable run over there and then get that hooked up and then get him hooked up with a new different microphone. And then we have sound checks and we have to get the teleprompter up on my computer.
And then my wife tells me how to pronounce words.
I have a little whiteboard so when he screws up he can correct himself.
That's live news, and I'm not Dan Rather, so
No, you're not.
No, listen,
But you know what? They're saying you're doing a good job.
I know,
so
and I
thank
appreciate that, folks.
Mhm.
I don't think I am, but thank you for that.
That
but it
was
was
sweet.
interesting watching the network news now.
Yes.
Shows like
You're watching it with a different eye, aren't
I
you?
am because boy, that's a green screen.
Uh-huh.
I think we were watching. It was on CBS. No, it was on what's channel 2? Fox.
Yes.
We occasionally watch Fox News before the national news comes on NBC, and I'm looking at the
Yes, believe
the
it or not, we
background.
watch Fox News every now and then.
This was anyway. I was looking at some of the backgrounds, and I realized they're not real. They're green screens.
That's right.
And I'm like, and all of a sudden I would look at their profile against the backdrop.
But you're not supposed to let that out. It's supposed to be secret that you're using your green screen.
Yeah, people
So
know
it's
that
so
we have
mysterious.
yeah, so they know that we have a massively.
Yes, a huge, gigantic, multi-million-dollar set right here in Lower Lake.
Yeah. Do you think everyone out there knows what a green screen is?
Most people might not.
Okay, go ahead.
So a green screen is a fabric. Let me see if I can pull this one
Yeah,
out
'cause
from back here.
Watch my headset.
We can see right there. Get out of the way.
Well, you
You can see the color of the green behind Peter. Okay, and behind me.
Well,
So this is the green that they use for what they call a green screen. And what it does is it color keys up with our broadcast equipment, which is a machine called a TriCaster. And it allows us to plug in 4 cameras directly into the PC computer that's inside of it. And then they record all of the stuff that we do. And Mark, or Joel, whoever's available as our technical director, then switches cameras from camera 1, camera 2. Now today we're only using 1 camera because we only have us and no guests. So usually we have the second camera for the guests. So when he does the news show, what happens is that it's called a color key, chroma key rather, and that green is a specific kind of green that's keyed to the equipment. So it recognizes that green as like a blank space. So you can pretty much fill that blank space up with anything you want. Well, the machine comes with 3D sets, so we were able to get a very nice set for the new show. Hopefully it looks professional. And thanks to the genius of Mark Stangolini, our studio manager, he was able to figure it out and get it working so that we now have a beautiful backdrop for Peter to do the news.
And the one behind
Actually,
it is,
looks like a real news show.
and the backdrop behind is not that. It's just strictly black curtains. Just to explain that.
What do you mean? Behind us? Yeah, we're definitely not on a green screen.
No.
For the radio show type sets or the talk show type sets, we use this black curtain as our backdrop instead.
I think we need more equipment into the picture so people know it's really a radio.
No, I think we're just fine. You can see my little setup in the corner there. Anyway, yeah, so that's what a green screen is, and we're very fortunate to have that capability here so we can provide a somewhat professional-looking news program that hopefully everybody will enjoy. And as I say, we're bringing it without any editorializing. We're bringing it without any kind of commentary, and you're just getting straight news during that program.
At some point,
we're
though,
very proud of that.
We will have guest people coming in to do editorials.
We'll have guest editorials. Yeah, we're encouraging some of our regular contributors like Phil Murphy,
I was going to say, Phil, are you
Maurice
listening?
Taylor, Betsy Kahn, Mike Dunlap. We're encouraging all of them to come in occasionally and give us a piece of their mind and do editorials.
You really want Mike on?
I do. I think Mike is brilliant. I love his perspective.
Oh, he is, but
And he is a fantastic person to have on the show and to do editorial type of work.
and he has very similar attitudes as we do regarding certain political activities and individuals in this county. So he is fun to have a
He is
discussion
fun.
with.
He's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it has a good background.
So, Mike,
too.
if you're listening, we want you on here. And that goes for Maurice and Phil and Betsy. Any of you that might be listening, we are waiting to hear back from you about participating in this show.
And I'm going to
It is a good show.
And I'm going to ask this online.
A really good show.
When we do the newscast, I feel very restrained in my personality because I'm consistently reading the stories off the teleprompter, trying to look at the camera at the same time. We need a guest host, not a guest host. We need
He needs a
secondary
co-host.
co-host.
Yeah, so if there's anybody out there interested in delivering the news, you wouldn't be required to do any news gathering. We would do all that. And you would just every other day be ready to read it out as it comes to you. And again, no editorializing, no personalizing. This is all just specifically professional type of news delivery.
Well, if you listen to the affiliates newscast or the main newscast, there's always two anchors. They're chit-chatting back and forth over stories, either
Yep.
laughing or joking.
It
or
makes it
being
a lot
serious.
easier when there's that second person.
And your personalities come out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyone out there who wants to volunteer and have their face on TV, come on down.
And no, I'm not doing it.
It's kind of interesting.
I know a lot of people have asked me why don't I do it. No, I have enough on my plate. Thank you. I don't need to be responsible for that.
My wife runs part of the technology aspects.
Yeah, but anybody could do that. But I just don't feel like it's a job for me. I'd like to see someone else have the opportunity to do that,
Well,
and I think it would be.
Can I tell them the real reason?
Which real reason?
The real reason why you don't want to be on.
Besides the fact I hate the way I look on TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my thing. I'm a behind-the-scenes person, and this show is an exception. It started as a radio show because in my book, I have a face for radio.
That's what Phil said. I just personally think with my wife's personality and her views,
Yeah, but that doesn't belong in an objective news program.
you can be the comedy act of this.
Yeah, I fill that role quite well. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
So I can do the serious stuff, and you can just laugh at me.
No,
when
but that's not for news. That's for Lake County
like
Magazine.
this show.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, what other good news
Yes.
stories can we talk about?
What
Let
else
me
do you
look at
have
my
on your
notes.
list?
Well, mostly they're just stories out of the magazine.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't get to the magazine as much as they'd like.
I don't know. Lately,
By the way, we have a couple of new people coming on board. One's going to be managing social media, so you're going to be getting a lot more information from us regarding what's on the magazine, what's in the magazine, and information on what's going on. If
Right.
you are a member of Lake County Magazine website, if you haven't joined, you can sign up there on the front page.
Under subscribe.
No, I don't think it's under subscribe. I think it's under join. Let me see. It's in the upper left-hand corner, and it's called sign up in the upper left, just above the ad, under the menu bars. See it? Sign up. Sign up.
I don't have-
Okay. So that's where you can join us, and we will eventually have our Twitter account working, and we will have a lot more activity and
Yes.
a lot more information.
Anyway, if you do sign up and become anyway, if you do sign up, your email address is not used for anything. It's not given to anybody. It's not sold to anybody.
Right, we do
This is
not use
strictly
it.
to
It's
receive
information sharing only amongst
Right.
us.
Yeah. So please, if you want to get regular emails and updates from us, go ahead and subscribe or log in, and you have our word that no one else will have access to that from ourselves anyway. Because you know how paranoid we are about identity theft and junk mail and scam mail, or what's it called? Scam? No,
Spam.
spam. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so you won't get anything from anybody else if you register with us. And it is on the front page of the lakecomagazine.com website. And we invite you to join us, because then you'll be plugged into all the breaking news that may be happening. You'll get weekly reports from the magazine of all the headlines. And, it'll be a lot better to be connected
Well, you
that
can
way.
also do that for breaking stories that are
That's what I
pertinent.
just
Did
said.
you?
Yes. Before I
Hey,
said
what?
the headlines, I said all the breaking
Sorry, my
news.
memory leaves a lot to be desired these days.
Hey, you're not having a seizure. I feel like I'm winning today. He had a really bad one yesterday. Really bad one.
Didn't have to tell the public.
Well, they need to know that sometimes when you do have a problem with words, it's it's because you're a spaz.
Unfortunately, folks, that's exactly what happens.
I know. I'm so sad. It's really a shame. He has a scar, or at least one scar on his brain from multiple concussions as a youth. They call it adult epilepsy, sports-related epilepsy, and it did scar his brain and now causes him to have seizures. So
And boy, folks, that's the best excuse I could ever have.
it explains everything. So, but we do he's on pretty heavy medication that he does get side effects from. But he also is doing the cannabis oil, the full extract oil, which is helping. No, I'm not hiding that. And that's helping a lot. He's finding when he takes that heavy-duty full extract oil before he goes to bed, pretty much the next day he doesn't have a seizure. So yesterday's seizure was a shock because he's been taking it. That's the first one you've had
Right.
in over a week,
Well,
right?
I said I don't think I took as much as I should.
The night before. Okay.
But yes.
So we're just learning how to dose it.
Unfortunately, the bad ones, I'm kind of on the floor, like can't hardly speak, and my whole right side either goes numb or shakes. So those who have a sense of humor probably enjoy watching it. And my wife takes very good care of me.
I try.
No, she does.
It's very frustrating, though, as anybody who has to deal with an epileptic or anyone that has seizures knows. The weird thing is, this is not my first person named Peter who's been an epileptic in my life. I guess it's just my mission.
Well, you know, Peter means rock in Greek, so maybe there's a connection.
I guess I have a
rock
thing for
brains.
Peters that have brain damage.
Does that make you feel superior now? That I'm the boss. I'm superior because the other half.
I haven't got
diagnosed.
diagnosed brain damage, but I'm sure there's some brain damage there somewhere.
Yeah. So anyhow, so what do we have else here? We had a gentleman arrested in Upper Lake for assault with a deadly weapon.
Oh, that was a
resisting
crazy story.
arrest, and for unrelated warrants, which means he had warrants outstanding. Then he got himself in trouble again by assaulting people with whatever deadly weapon he had. And so I'm sure he's sitting in county jail for a while until his trial comes up in 2 or 3 or 4 years, as the courts are so jammed up. Yes, thank you. It was machete.
A cutlass, as we call it in the
We
Caribbean.
call it a cutlass. That's right. We don't mean the Oldsmobile.
Or the Pirates.
Do you remember those? The
Yeah.
Oldsmobile cutlass?
I used to like them.
You're old.
I am old.
They were good cars. Anyway, let's see. This occurred, obviously, State Highway 20, 12:18 p.m. Oh, that was in the afternoon. Anyway, he threw a machete at somebody. Oh, at the direction.
I guess he was like homeless and he was camping
Yeah.
out on their land, and they
Right.
tried to get rid of him, and he got mad and he came after him with
Yeah,
a machete.
Well, no, he said he threw the machete to the opposite direction of the
When the
deputy.
cop showed up,
Right,
yeah.
exactly, yeah.
But he didn't throw the machete until the cop showed up, and then he threw it down hoping that the cop wouldn't see it.
Yeah, but then he ran to the machete that was out of view by the deputy. So really he had an alternative motive, and he was thinking in advance on how to handle the situation. So the guy had some logical format to his personality. I didn't know I had a degree in psychology.
I don't know, but I think that it's a shame. You know, we've got issues with homeless people, and you know, we almost have a similar situation here in the sense that we have this guy that's living here in the back of our building. And, you know, I've tried speaking to him a couple of times to see if he could get over to the bridge and get a shower and get some help. And, you know, he's yelled at me several times.
Yep.
It's like, dude, you can't live here. This is not a home. Well, it looks like the landlord or somebody gave him permission to clean up around here. So they're giving him a couple bucks probably a month to do that. But, you know, he does stuff like cleans up when we're working.
Blowing the dust.
Sweeping up our hallway, which we have like a breezeway here in front of our offices, and he's sweeping up the carpet out there and filling the whole space with dust. Now, I've had lung surgery. I'm very sensitive to dust. And we asked him, please don't clean during business hours, or when you see the blue light that says on the air on, just try to keep it quiet. Well, he's out there screaming at people in the hallway. He's out there sweeping up during business hours, still does that. And now it looks like he's actually studying college courses,
about that, yeah.
you know, and he lives in the back of our building. I mean, I don't know where he sleeps at night. Maybe it's in our hallway, but he doesn't have anything, and whatever he has, he can carry with him. Just really, really unusual. But I wouldn't mind him being there. As a matter of fact, I'd probably help him out more. But he several times has screamed at me and yelled at me and been very rude. So it kind of makes me not want to give him a hand, which is kind of bad.
Yeah, it is, because you have such a caring and giving
Well,
heart.
I probably could help him get somewhere, but he obviously doesn't want to go anywhere. I just don't know what the landlord is thinking.
He's in San Francisco.
I guess he's not thinking.
He's not. He's counting his money, I'm sure. Anyway, that wasn't.
By the way, Willie Nelson turned 83.
What?
Yep,
No way.
yep.
80?
83. I love
That's
Willie.
impossible.
And he's starting his own pot business, too. He
Well,
has his
that's
own line of weed now.
That's a shock.
I love it.
What's the royalties on that? I'm just asking.
I'm sure his name has a lot of value.
It does. That's why I asked what the royalties would be, or the intellectual property licensing fee would be. I'm sorry. I'm trying to impress myself.
You're the only one that could.
Mark, you laugh one more time. I think this is one of the loosest shows we've had.
I'm feeling really good. I told you I woke up this morning feeling good mentally. Even though Fire in the Barn's on hold, we still don't know what's going on with that. And what else is going crazy around here? Oh, the referendum, the count is all up in the air. We don't know about that. There's nothing guaranteed with that still. And what else is going on? All kinds of these things around us are circling around. Nothing is being resolved. Everything's up in the air. And I'm just like, oh, I feel really good today.
So with all
Anybody else would be like in a bipolar depression.
So what's part of the moon in and the stars?
I have
or-
no idea. Actually, they stopped sending me my my astrology notes. I don't know what happened, but I used to get a astrology thing every freaking day, and now I don't have it at all.
Is that like being in the third moon or third phase or third?
No, Mercury's not in retrograde.
That's what I
can tell you that, because when Mercury's in retrograde, my life is hell. So I'm very, very susceptible to
And
that.
it's not now?
No, my life is heaven right
Okay.
now.
Thank
Look,
you.
I have you as my wonderful husband, and I have a beautiful life, and I have wonderful people around us that are helping us out and volunteering to make this station happen. And we're just moving
getting
right
there.
along one step at a time. I mean, how could I not be happy with where we're at?
Well, it's kind of interesting, folks. We've been together 20
20 years.
odd
soon.
years, which is absolutely amazing.
1996.
You know, when I brought her into Phoenix with our stepchild, my
when he
stepchildren.
kidnapped me from the ghetto of Miami.
Yes.
Little Haiti.
One of the first things we got in late, and we all had to sleep on the floor because we didn't have any other accommodations yet. Had a decent house. Her first kind of words were, "Well, thank you for coming up here, but you do know that I've never had a relationship last more than 5 years." I'm like, okay, that makes me feel good.
I had this deal with myself. If I could live with someone for 5 years, I would marry them. But if I couldn't make it that long, obviously it's not worth marrying somebody. So all my life, I've had these guys in my life, and I think one made it 4.5 years. That was as long as it lasted. And then I married my husband. He lasted 8 years, but he didn't live with me for like
No,
3 years of that at least. So actually, I've never had a man make it with me for 5 years. So I thank you and congratulations for that. You
Trust me,
get the
folks.
award.
I just really really 5 years and after what
But honestly, the 20 years feels like 5 to
it
me.
does. And what's
It's been great.
funny is, and I said this to myself, not
Just
to
saving
my
me, saving
wife,
myself for you.
I said, God, this is the first day we're together. I wonder what it's going to be like after a year, and then after 5 years, and then after 10 years. And it scared the hell out of me. What am I doing with this woman and 3 kids? I have to buy $400 worth of
masochist.
groceries, and I've never spent that money in my
1,000.
life.
We used to break the Safeway.
Oh, that's right. We
Grocery.
Because we used to go shopping once a month.
I'd go once a month. We had 3 kids, and we had at that time we had a nanny living with us.
Oh God! yeah,
remember?
that was- yeah.
And so we had a full house, and I would go shopping, and I'd spend $1,000 a month easily on groceries.
2 or 3
At
shopping
that
carts
time,
full.
financially, we were doing much better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were.
But I remember at least 3 times when we went to check out at Safeway, the cash registers crashed.
Yes, too many items.
They were not used to that much of a high bill of $1,000, and they weren't prepared
Well,
to take money that high.
We were living in Apache Junction.
Yes, and which is
is
like in the
similar-
middle of
Well,
nowhere.
it's also similar to Clear Lake to a certain extent.
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere,
And
basically.
the income level's down.
Yep.
We have a super Walmart that took all the business away from all the small businesses. Even tax services. They got Hewitt Jackson, I think, in Walmarts.
Do we have what Walmart's? I'm
Do you
sorry.
see, after 20
I
years,
just read a
folks,
funny
she
joke.
doesn't listen. Just doesn't listen.
I do, but I'm trying to multitask here.
With your brain power? Well, it's been a while since you took your medicine.
I never take medicine for my brain. I medicate.
Okay, what's so funny?
Oh, okay, it's a joke. So, hun, this is a wife. I have a problem in my car. The 710 part falling from the engine, I think, is a cap. Husband, hey, what happened? 710? WTF? Well, 710. Yeah, I think a cap from the engine. I'm scared and I don't have money to fix. Husband, I'm confused, hun. Better you send me a pic because I never heard about 710 cap. It's an oil cap upside down. It says OIL on it, and she's reading it as 710. That kind of thing makes women look really bad. I'm sorry.
Is that a blonde joke?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Don't even go on that one.
No, they're just asking if you know what it is. That's
Okay.
all.
Let's see. Let's get back to more
Oh,
serious
sorry,
news.
folks.
That's
A
okay.
little sidetrack there.
Don't we always?
Yes.
So, we had a 22-year-old man out of Kelseyville charged with evading peace officers and driving without a license on early Sunday morning. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. What happened was they went through a high-speed chase in Clear Lake. But we did
High speed at 65 miles an hour for
and
2
And
miles.
didn't we get a notice saying, wasn't a big deal?
Yeah, the sheriffs
Yeah.
sheriffs responded back to our inquiry
Right.
and saying it wasn't any big deal. It was just 2 miles. I guess the guys had gone to a party, and then they left the party and they decided to show off on the way back by going very fast through Clear Lake, which is
Right.
not a good thing to do.
No.
And the sheriff's deputy saw them and chased them down, and then he was arrested because he didn't have a license.
Right, I didn't
The way he was driving like he didn't have a
I
license.
didn't realize this, but the alleged criminal guy was detained at gunpoint by the deputy and then arrested. That's interesting. Well, yes, no. When you're speeding at that speed, you don't know if he's got a weapon or he just committed a burglary. I guess so. Gunpoint would scare the hell out of me. What about you?
That would be bad. Well, and they were people of color too, so kudos to
Oh,
the
they
cops
were?
for
I
not
didn't know that.
killing them or breaking their necks. Here's an inside story on the Baltimore thing that people probably don't realize.
No,
That
they probably-
I read a post yesterday, and it has not been confirmed, but there's word that the young man that was killed, I forget his name. Anyway, the guy with the broken neck in Baltimore that all the writing is about, he supposedly he was being treated for a broken neck
Right.
because of a car accident that he had been in, and he had received a settlement from Allstate Insurance, and that he had received a large settlement, and it was it was like 2 weeks or a week prior that he had neck surgery on his neck. So he probably should not even have been out and about from where he was at to begin with, because he was probably recuperating.
Right.
But it does explain how the neck could have gotten so easily broken, because it seems like it was from a previous injury, even though they may have been doing what we call here in Lake County screen tests with the guy in the back of the van, which is driving the van without a seatbelt belt. Then they slam on the brakes to send them up into the screen. That we had problems with this back in the previous administration under Sheriff Mitchell's era, that they were doing that to Hispanic prisoners and people of color and things. And this is a commonly used tactic by unconscious police officers in order to give extra punishment to to the people they capture. So it could very well be that his neck was broken prior to this accident.
80% of the
Yeah, but it could have been a result of the accident and the surgery and the subsequent surgery. So we don't really know what happened at this point. It seems that there may not have been as much excessive force by the police department as
What was he being arrested for?
I think he was selling pot or drugs or something.
Okay, well, drugs, yes. Pot, who cares? So, it was interesting when we wake up in the morning, and after I make my coffee and bring it down to my wife, who
He's
gets
such a
an
good
extra
husband.
15 minutes of sleep more than I do.
Yeah, but I'm also up an hour or two longer than you every night
Well,
too.
we try not to, but
No, but that's
Anyway,
how it usually works out.
on the Today Show, NBC, they brought in was 6, I think, police officers, and they're from around the country: L.A., Trenton, New Jersey, which is really a nasty place, Baltimore, and other locations. And there were some Hispanics, there were some African Americans, there were some whites, Caucasians, excuse me. And it was interesting, their commentary. And I don't know if they were hand selected, but they were all saying, well, not all cops are like that. We're here to serve the community. One African American gentleman said, hey, I was raised in the ghetto. I know what they're going through, but I learned my lesson and became a police officer. I think it was the same gentleman said that my father hid me from all of the prejudice, all of the actions that take place against African Americans. So when I became an adult, I did not have this background indoctrinated into me. So I thought that was interesting.
That is.
But unfortunately, they were not defending necessarily the law enforcement officers, but trying to explain that not all cops are alike, and that they're
You know what? There's a lot of good cops
Yes.
too. And as a matter of fact, one was just I'm not showing you any funny cat videos.
no, that was a puppy dog.
That was a cat
It
boxing.
was?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, in front of the TV. Never mind.
There were also, go back to the magazine, there was also CHP officers that were awarded for saving someone's life the other day.
Yes.
We have actually it happened about a year or so ago,
No, actually, it
maybe
was
even 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
2 years ago.
Also, part 4 of Bruce Forsyth's
yes.
series is up on Laco Magazine, by the way. And we're going to have a 5th part that's going to provide the affidavit and get some follow-up from some of the people that were involved in the case, too. So hopefully we'll have that out by the end of this week. But let me see. I don't see the article. What up?
Just go into admin and look it up that way.
I don't want to have to do that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what our friend is saying, that we have to have a better, easier way for this to...
I'm working on it, folks. And seriously, I am working on it.
Yes.
Tuesday, I have a meeting with one of our volunteers, and we're going to go through the whole magazine and redo the format, the drop-down menu, so it's much cleaner and easier to find stuff. So please bear with us for another 2 or 3 weeks. The company that hosts and provides the template online, and this is an online templates, not uploaded every single day through FTTP. And so they're going to make sure that all the current information, since we've had it since 2012, will automatically transfer to the new categories. So we're not going to lose anything. But
Oh, that's good.
you're right. Sometimes it is difficult to go through, especially when you're not familiar with it.
We do want to remind everybody the burn ban starts on May 1st. Peter almost talked about that a minute ago, but we got sidetracked. So there's fire restrictions applying to all areas in the county. All burn permits expire on April 30th. An annual burn ban was first implemented in '86, and it has continued since then. So be aware that you're not allowed to have any fires, okay? Man, I don't know
thought
where
you
that
were
story
referring
went.
to a band.
Burn ban. That's
that-
right. I thought they were talking about fire in the barn for a minute. A barn ban.
Are you listening, Joe?
Oh, and the reason why fire in the barn can't happen at Joe's place is because county says that his land is zoned APZ, which is Williamson Act
Designation.
designation. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And it is something that we can't change without going. Well, they have to actually physically change the law
Yes.
in order for it to be able to allow camping.
Right. What they're trying to do is pass an updated ordinance that stipulates that this type of Williamson land can actually have special permits issued.
Once a year to do
Right.
a festival or camping.
Right.
So
Exactly.
to allow just a once a year thing, which they feel is actually feasible, and it could be possibly accomplished, but it's a long process. It has to go through the Planning Commission, it has to go through the Board of Supervisors, and it just really is not a good way to go, unfortunately. So they won't let anybody have the event up there at Joe's, because without the camping, then we're going to have impaired drivers and this and that. So we're kind of messed up there,
And
unfortunately.
it's a shame because even Supervisor Steele admitted that last year things were just so.
He was there last year,
Yes.
and he said it was a great event, and he was really proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, there was no
And he
misbehavior.
tried really hard to make this happen, but the county just won't budge. And county meaning Rick Coel, and that's pretty much
Well,
where in his hands.
So on the other side of the story, though, Rick is interpreting the ordinance or the ordinance within Lake County, and his attitude or his point of view is, if I make an exception here, I have to make an exception.
Well, that's the
everywhere.
problem, and the point that that Jim was making is that these people that have APZ zoning pay much less taxes.
They do.
And if they allow someone with that zoning to have an event that would normally be done on regular ag land or something like that, those people pay much more taxes. Therefore, people are going to get upset that this guy's getting away with not paying the taxes.
Yep.
But rather than changing the zoning on the property, they feel it's a lot easier to change the law to allow camping on those type of properties.
Right, and that's
Which
goes
is
to the
good.
Planning Commission and then to be approved by the
Right.
board.
Now, the only problem is the secondary location that we found a very satisfactory location for the actual event to be moved to, but unfortunately Joe is not convinced that that's the right way to do things, and he's a little paranoid about not being able to follow through with getting the zoning changed for next year, and his trust levels are actually not very high, and therefore there's going to be a problem. So we're still waiting to hear. He promised me today we would have some kind of movement, so I'm hoping by tomorrow I can make an announcement that we have found the actual location, and we have an agreement on both sides.
Right.
So unfortunately, folks, this is a very exciting event, but it may or may not happen still. Okay, so our good news, police news today is that Clear Lake area officer from the CHP, Adam Garcia, received the Medal of Valor at a ceremony on Thursday. He was awarded the medal for his actions 2 years ago when he pulled two people from a vehicle on State Road 29 north of Hoffacker Lane that had been involved in a collision and was on fire. This was in January 2013, and he dealt with both fire and icy water to save the lives of two victims of a vehicle crash. Upon answering a call about a pickup that had slid sideways off the road and flipped end over end on State Road 29 in Lake County, he found the vehicle wedged against an embankment in a creek of icy water with 2 people trapped inside. As he climbed down the steep rocky bank, the passenger side of the engine compartment became fully engulfed in flames. Both doors were jammed shut, and he could not pull the driver out his window because the driver had a leg in a cast which was pinned under the dashboard. He managed to pull the passenger by the arm over the driver and out of the driver's side window. By persistently tugging on the driver, Officer Garcia was able to free the man's leg and drag him through the window. His heroic action saved the lives of both individuals. Good news, good cop
That
news.
is.
Thank you, sir, for your service, and we appreciate that very much. All right, next. You are the man with the list.
I have run out of stories.
Oh, no, you
except-
haven't.
Yeah, except for
No, you haven't.
I have a IRS audit red flag I can do, which will bore the hell out of everyone. What do you think?
Go ahead.
Okay.
By the way, they found all the ex-head of the IRS. They found all her emails.
They found them?
6,400
I
emails.
didn't know they actually found them.
They did. I'll show the thing to you in a minute.
Okay. Yeah, the ex-head of the IRS did not disclose all the emails that were sent regarding the extra attention paid to Tea Party nonprofit applications. And during the investigation, they basically found that she did not report all of the information that she was supposed to, including now 6,400 emails between staff within the IRS. So,
Yeah, I don't know
know,
where that story went to.
yeah, and you
Go
wonder
find it.
why we all have attitudes towards the IRS besides their behavior.
Because it's a do as I say, not as I do.
Exactly. It's like you're guilty until proven innocent, which is a very true statement. So,
Here, this is in direct response to the Tea Party thing
okay,
with the emails. It's coming up.
slowly.
Hang
Here
in
we
there.
go.
Thousands of new learner emails found. An inspector general investigating the IRS's improper scrutiny of Tea Party groups has found thousands of emails from Lois Lerner, the agency official at the center of that controversy. Let's see. They found roughly 6,400 emails, either to or from Lerner, sent between 04 and 2013 that it didn't think the IRS had turned over to lawmakers. Ooh, that's bad.
Yeah, it is.
They have not examined the emails yet, but last year, Lerner's computer crashed in 2011, losing an unknown number of her emails over the prior two. That's a bunch of baloney, because your emails are not stored on your computer.
No.
Your emails are stored in the cloud on whatever your email server
server
is.
is, right.
So that's why you can access your email from any point you are in the world, because they're always on the
So
cloud.
that's why the NSA can get it.
Yep. About 650 were from 2010 and 2011. Most were from 2012. And they found about 35,000 emails in all as it sought to recover data from recycled backup tapes. See, I just don't understand that because
Well-
I never save any of my emails to my hard drive. So
No.
I don't even know how that could be valid.
Well, what the point of that, besides her just putting her own political agenda together on that, is that if that was any of us hiding information,
Hello, we'd be in jail.
we would be charged with
You betcha.
money laundering, fraud, whatever the case may be.
You
So
betcha.
it's once again it's the 1%ers versus everyone else, and I hate that term 1%ers, but it's just not right. You going to get some music ready to go?
I believe I have something
No?
ready.
Okay, we got another few minutes, but
Or if we got 15 minutes according to this.
yeah, we got another 5 minutes.
Yeah,
So
that's plenty of time.
okay.
Why did you want to just have me play music for the rest of the day and evening? My music's only 4 minutes.
No.
And then we got
no.
our 2-minute
Well, what
commercial.
else could- have some
That's
nice
6
tax
minutes.
music behind in the background.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
You're so funny.
Yes. All right, folks, since we only have a few minutes left, I'm going to bore you here. Here are audit red flags. And I don't know if all of you have sent in your tax returns yet or not. If they haven't, listen to some of these audit. And I always tell everyone this, misreporting your income. During an audit, the IRS matches up your deposits to the amount of money you reported on your tax return. And if there is a difference, you need to document why. Also, if you don't report any type of 1099 income, which is if you're self-employed, uh, customers or whatever have to report that. So, there's so many deductions out there. There's absolutely no need to not report all of your income. The other thing, unusual high charitable deductions. So what they do is they look at your adjusted gross income, which is the top line on page 2 of 1040, not that you care. And if you have a high percentage of charitable deductions, that can cause an audit. And as an example, I had a client that I formed a charitable remainder trust for. You get a tax deduction for whatever you put into this trust, and he reported it or I reported it on his tax return. Next thing you know, we get one of those letters in the mail saying, this is being disallowed. You got way too much money going in here. So we actually called for a meeting. I had to explain how it worked. They said, oh, okay. But they do look at stuff like that. This is kind of silly, but it happens so much. Putting your wrong Social Security number on the tax return. Very easy to have a 5 versus a 3, 7 for 9, just because of handwriting. And the IRS literally matches up every single Social Security number on every single tax return, especially with children, albeit foster children, stuff like that. They would challenge that at times. The biggest thing, and I tell my clients this, is what they call the hobby activities. If you're starting up a business from home, as an example, and you're only making a few $100s or maybe $1,000 a year in income, and all of a sudden you have all these expenses, your car allowance, purchase on depreciation, all your accounting fees, et cetera, et cetera. They'll allow you 2 or 3 years to report this as a business, knowing that businesses take a while before they become profitable. But after that, they're really going to scrutinize if this is just a hobby that you're trying to report as a business, so you can report all the tax deductions, which lower your taxable income. So that is a red flag. So if you are self-employed as a part-time position, just make sure your accountant understands that, and you keep all the documentation that proves that you are actually involved in promoting your business, not just using for a tax dodge. Let's see. Last couple. Is this especially for realtors or salespeople? Knowing this from experience. When you have a sizable meals and entertainment expense for your business, realtors can get away with murder to a certain extent because they're always entertaining clients out on the road. Salespeople do the same thing, but there's a limit to what you can afford. If you're making 30 grand in gross commissions, and after you pay all your other expenses, office fees, MLM fees, lockbox fees, all of a sudden you have $20,000 worth of meal expenses, or $10,000, along with another $10,000 mileage deduction. The IRS kind of says, wait a minute, you're only making this amount of money and spending all this money. This doesn't make sense. So they kind of target that. Matter of fact, a few years ago, they literally were targeting realtors on their automobile expenses and their meal expenses.
Really?
Yeah, luckily none of my clients did that.
Oh, well, none of your clients would do anything illegal.
Now, watch the word illegal. They are looking at the tax laws, consulting their accountant, and saying, what are my chances? Is this legitimate? And what I tell people is, yes, it's legitimate. However, the way we're reporting it may be challenged, and therefore it is my responsibility as a quote professional to say, yes, there is a 1 in 3 chance of being successful. And that's how the IRS measures tax preparers. Is there a reasonable 1 in 3 chance for a deduction to be approved? So
Okay.
that's that. Last but not least, because we need to start playing some music here.
Honey, we have 10 minutes. I have 4 minutes of music
Well,
and 2 minutes of
we gotta
commercial.
get reorganized.
Yes. Oh, that's right. We got to play 10
Thank
minutes
you.
of music. Sorry, guys.
Last but not least is
Set changes.
if you pay alimony, not child support, but alimony, that is taxable income to the ex-spouse.
That's right.
And what the IRS does is they look for both tax returns, and the spouse who receives the money has to report that as income, and the spouse that has to pay the alimony has a what they call above the line deduction, and they compare those two amounts. And if the person giving the money to the spouse is incorrect, that's the one that's challenged, not the one that receives the funds.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, that's
it.
good to know.
So those are all the things you need to be aware of when you prepare your tax return.
All right.
And those are things you should ask your tax preparer, no matter if they're a CPA, EA, or just
EA
person.
means enrolled agent,
Thank
for
you.
those of you not aware of the
So-
high-tech terms.
that's not a high tech term. It's a designation acceptable to the Attorney General.
Yes, dear.
Just like a wealth preservation specialist is now gets fancy letters behind their name,
Do they
the head
now?
of their name. So
That's nice.
the IRS recognizes that.
Good.
So,
Okay.
all right,
Well, thank you for that.
you're welcome.
Appreciate it. And thank you for joining us. We appreciate you being there, and we really look forward to your feedback. Don't forget, you can find us on Facebook at Lake County Magazine Talk Show, or you can also go to Lake County Magazine Facebook page, and you can also go to lakecomagazine.com, and you can also go to LCM TV Facebook page
Okay.
or lcm-tv.com to watch repeats of this
No
program.
wonder you never talk to me.
Why?
You're doing all these updates and shares and stuff.
Well, I know life is tough. You
I
got to
know.
keep working, you
I
know.
I do work.
So yes, you do, and I'm your social media specialist for now. So
that's
that's
right.
why
So
I never talk to you.
why aren't you
I talk to
promoting-
everybody else.
Why aren't you promoting my accounting business then?
I have been.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
Okay.
folks, that'll do it for Wednesday, April 29th. Oh
Stay
my
tuned
God.
for the LCM TV news. Yes,
At noon.
noon, coming up.
Coming up.
All right.
fast.
Thanks a lot. And if it's a little late, it's just because we're not getting set up in time. But we'll be there. So hang in there with us. We'll be playing music until we're set up for the news.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot. And I hope you have a great day. We got something here from my buddy DJ Ignite and Kenny Estes. Just a little blast from the past for you. It's called Leave Ken Alone.
KTVU's Ken Wayne,
right,
live
folks,
in
thanks for
Oakland
joining
tonight
us.
with our report. Ken?
Have a great week.
Well, Frank, we have new developments out here. We have about 13 Oakland police cars
What
here
the
on the
hell?
scene where the raids took place
I know
earlier
that ain't
today.
Kenny
We're trying to
Estes,
find
man.
out exactly what Oakland police officers are doing here right now. Federal authorities, as you mentioned, are being tight-lipped about what they were doing during several raids this morning. Drug enforcement agents showed up around 6 o'clock this morning and broke through the back door of this building. Neighbors say the agents looked like they were on a paramilitary mission, and it frightened some of the onlookers.
Scared my kids, why'd you have to kick in full right gear? The whole door in. Cut all my plants down, left the stems. If your parents were ill, would you do this to them? Would you take all their pain pills and turn them in? Confiscate their belongings and split them in the end. The vultures are tripping off cannabis. There's cocaine and ice cakes, go find them. You're wasting your federal funded dividends. If you touch one of us, then touch one of them. One day you might ask to be a friend, but I don't trust no one. Have no friends like Houdini, I'll disappear in the wind. Roll away in my wheelchair, I'ma win in the end. As long as there's seeds, I'm ahead of them. If nature cooperates, see you at Oktoberfest.
They filed down the street with their semi-automatic weapons and full riot gear with a battering ram and went in the back door.
A lot of our customers pulled up and looked across the street, saw the guns, got back in the car and took off.
The special agent in charge of the DEA's San Francisco field office revealed little about today's action.
Leave us alone, we're all medical patients. A prescription allows me to grow these babies. If that canine bites, hope he gives me rabies. So I could slap a lawsuit on the city, maybe, or maybe not. I got my Glock, I think you're the intruder, then pop, pop, pop. No more DEA agents on the spot. Every time they think of us, does the crime rate drop? I don't think so, not even a little bit. Are you stressed out? Then hit it a little bit. Pure Kush, Northern California Bush. We got medical club cards, we don't push. Collective throughout the states. What's the difference between trees and them pills you take? Advils, aspirins, and ibuprofens, and I had no pain since I've been token.
I'm not at liberty to say a lot about the investigation. It's still under seal. So all I could say is, our mission is to go after the biggest and the baddest people.
Ken Estes is apparently one of the biggest and baddest people. He says this property is where he used to grow medical marijuana plants for his Bay Area cannabis club.
This is for my folks in that green triangle. Keep on growing at every angle. Glaucomas, cancer, and broken ankles. Migraines and major pains that can't handle. The best remedy simply grows on trees. 100% natural. THC. Go ahead, take a puff now. Eat it in brownies. That's how we get down in Sonoma County. When window. Lakes and surrounding boundaries, get caught trespassing, you can't find them. Quick, it won't hurt, they'll put you in the dirt. And now you know just how it works. But that's not us, we supply the medicine. Just like poems with indigenous vegetative growth. Then back to bloom. If you wanna weigh my hardest out, I'll let you in my room.
Now the building is littered with bags of mildewing marijuana and plants with the stalks chopped off.
They said, we're going to arrest me, we're charging you, arrest none of my people. They went into all my businesses everywhere, took whatever money and whatever marijuana they could find.
Ken says agents not only raided this building, but a growing operation in San Leandro and his 3 medical marijuana dispensaries in Clear Lake, San Mateo, and this one in Richmond. He says they also went to his home in Clear Lake, rousting him and his 3 children out of bed. Estes says he's outraged that federal agents are singling him out. He says he should be allowed to grow and sell medical marijuana because of California's Prop 215. But the feds don't see it that way.
I'm going to reopen. I'm going to open up, maybe not those locations, but I'm going to challenge the government. The federal government is wrong. Once again, the federal government is wrong.
Flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that weave, but now they only block the sun.